Yeah, I want to point out that Dalton Knect, in 16 games that he started in the 2024-2025 season, he averaged 16.7 points and 4.9 rebounds, 17 points and 5 rebounds. He shot 55% from the field, 48% from 3, 85.7% from the line. That's in 16 games for Dalton Knect this past year. And I bring that up because it's trade season. And Dalton Knect is being thrown into every trade there is. And I'm trying to get the word out that don't listen to the talking heads. The talking heads will have you believe that a 16-game sample size is an anomaly. I'll put it like this. Don't look at it as Dalton Knect started 16 games. Look at it as in 16 games he was given an opportunity. Not that he started, that he was given an opportunity. And when given the opportunity, he scored 17 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, shot 55% from the field, 48% from 3, and 86% from the line. When given an opportunity. I bring that up because this current iteration of Laker management is notorious for trading guys that have not been given an opportunity, or trading guys that are young and their names aren't big, so therefore they don't really have to give them an opportunity. They don't have to invest in them, right? If this name over here that is half as popular as this name over here, right? If this name could net you that name, the Lakers have been going after that name. It doesn't matter what the production is, what the chemistry is, what the on-court chemistry is. It doesn't matter. If this smaller name could net you that bigger name, that's the way the Lakers have been going. And as of right now, no one could tell me that a rookie who is more athletic than Austin Reeves, probably a better shooter than Austin Reeves, a better slasher than Austin Reeves, has the capable to be a better defender than Austin Reeves, and is on a cost-controlled contract for another 3 or 4 years. No one could tell me that trading that guy is wiser or smarter than trading Austin Reeves. It is smarter to trade Austin Reeves. Instead, every single trade that you hear right now has Dalton Knect in it. And when Dalton Knect was given an opportunity, 17 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 55% from the field, 48% from 3, 86% from the free throw line. When given an opportunity. And it's not like it's over a small sample size. It's over 16 games. About a fifth of the season. When this dude was given an opportunity, that's what he did. And a lot of people are saying, well, what happened? One thing that happened was Gabe Vincent came back, and Austin Reeves either came back or recovered from injury or whatever. And when that happened, they took the minutes, and his opportunity became a lot more sporadic. That's one thing that happened. The other thing that happened was a narrative started to develop. A narrative that kind of, and you know, you guys, I'll get back to what I was saying, but this is why I think that management is deliberately putting stuff out and hoping that the talking heads pick it up and run with it. Because no one was talking that poor defense shit during those 16 games. No one was talking that shit. Dude was net positive, playing fantastic, and we actually relied on him to win us games. No one was talking that poor defense shit then. It wasn't until Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves came back or started playing better that people started talking that poor defense shit. And I'm telling you guys, it's a narrative. It is nothing but a narrative that serves someone's ultimate goal. And that narrative is what they're using right now to say the Lakers need to get rid of Dalton Knect. Again, you got somebody who is as good or better in 16 games as Austin Reeves was. He's younger. He's taller, he's more athletic, and this narrative is being pushed that he is so bad on defense that he has to go. As if Austin Reeves doesn't get match hunted all the time. But they're talking like his defense is so bad that he has to go, and they're talking like he's a low IQ player. And this is just all stuff that's used to fill a narrative. And a lot of times when people rely on narratives, it's because they have an ultimate goal that they want to accomplish. They want to trade Dalton Knect. I'm telling you that right now. The Lakers want to trade Dalton Knect. They want to keep Austin Reeves. The $1 million question is why? They want to keep Austin Reeves because Austin Reeves is a name that came up in the system. That's why. It's got nothing to do. Anybody who worries about the Lakers as a team, who worries about the success of the organization, anyone who is thinking like that and taking the sentimental aspect out of it, I believe they're going to say keep Dalton Knect and trade Austin Reeves. Right? I'm a Laker fan before I am a fan of any player. Period. And as a Laker fan, Dalton Knect is the one the Lakers need to keep. He's the one that is more of an option player next to LeBron and Luka Doncic. You see, Austin Reeves, as much as I love him and I love his game, the dude has a ceiling. And furthermore, the dude is more of a beta-ish kind of personality on the court. He is not going to buck the system. Yo, when you have Luka and you got LeBron, you need somebody to say, I'm going to get mine. That person is more Dalton Knect than Austin Reeves. And again, this is not a slight or a diss or a hate on Austin Reeves. It's not that. I'm telling you what I see as a Laker fan. Yo, I've been a Lakers fan since 1982, 83. I'm always more down with the team than I am with any particular player. This is what I wanted to point out, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, how does that... I'll put it like this. People are trying to find ways to justify why his numbers went from 17-5, right? 55% from the field, 48% from three over those 16 games. People are trying to justify why his numbers went down. And the answer is so simple, right? Just like the answer was simple as to why the Lakers railroaded the Mark Williams trade. And if you didn't catch the video yesterday, I'll tell you in a synopsis real quick. They didn't have Luka Doncic signed at the time. If Luka Doncic extends with the Lakers know Luka Doncic will be with the Lakers probably in 2030, 2031. If Luka Doncic is with the Lakers in 2030, what's the value of the 2031 pick? If Luka Doncic is not with the Lakers in 2030, what's the value of the 2031 pick? You see, you're talking about a pick that is worth a top 3 pick potentially, or a pick that is worth 25 through 30. That's the difference. If Luka signs with the Lakers, I would not be surprised if the Lakers revisit that trade. If Luka extends with the Lakers, right? The Lakers effed up the order of operation with that trade, right? While Rob Pelinka should have considered this, he didn't. And he agreed to a trade, and before it was too late, he went back and thought about it, and he said, wait, hold on. What could change the value of that pick? Oh, yeah. Does Luka extend with us this summer or not? That's the $1 million question. If Luka extends, you could plan on seeing trades happen. But it's all... you could plan on seeing trades happen that involve the 2031 pick. If Luka doesn't extend, right, we are going to hold on to that 2031 pick with dear life, unless something that comes along that will change the trajectory of the team, that will make the team rise, right? That's why, okay? And it's so obvious, and it hit me yesterday, and I'm surprised no one's spoken about it, but it hit me yesterday. But the reason why Dalton Knect's numbers went down and why he didn't get playing time, very simple. because Austin Reeves and Gabe Vincent came back or started playing well. It's that simple. And the fact that everyone is looking so far into it, it's just a way for them to validate and justify their actions. That's all it is. Look, man, I'm 48 years old. I have to recognize what's wrong with people so I know how to deal with those people. For example, there's a young black dude I work with, and he gets mad at me. I've never been mean to this guy, but he has a problem with me, right? He's 33 years old, I'm 48. But I'm just not changing who I am around based on who the people that I am around, right? So we work with a lot of white folks, right? A lot of white males. And I'm not dumbing down my speech. I'm not trying to make myself sound more intelligent either. I'm moving how I move. And in my everyday life, I use proper English. I speak properly. Does my English change if I'm, at a bar drinking a beer compared to if I'm at a business meeting or lunch? Of course it does. But I stay who I am. I am confident in who I am. And this dude has a problem with me over that. And I only say that to say this. At 48 years old, I need to recognize that stuff so I could avoid the pitfalls that come with being around a certain kind of person. There's also an older white guy that I work with. This dude has a problem with me because he wants to see me come out of character and be that angry black guy. But he can't get me to do that because I value who I am too much. Right? But I recognize that. While he was doing it, I recognized what he was doing, and he wasn't going to get me to come out of character. Be angry, get loud, dip into some black dialect and shit. How he's not getting me to do that. Well, in the same way, I recognize that when they started saying, when I say they, I mean the talking heads, started saying that Dalton Knect's defense was terrible, right? Or that what happened during the first part of the year was just a fluke, an anomaly. Those 16 games don't count. It's fake. It's not real. It's not sustainable, right? When they start doing stuff like that, I know that somebody got in their ear. I'm not saying explicitly. I'm not saying implicitly. I'm saying something got in their ear and made them play into this narrative. That Dalton Knect's defense is terrible, that he is a low IQ player, that what happened early on in the year is a fluke and not sustainable. Someone got in their ear and told them that's the line. Or they got together and decided that's the line, or they just implicitly put that together. But sometimes it's hard to believe that so many different sources implicitly put that together. I watched. And the way they're talking, it's almost like they're saying, are you going to believe me or your own lying eyes? Well, I'm going to believe my own lying eyes. Sorry. Because I watched those 16 games in which Dalton Knect started because Austin Reeves was hurt, if I'm not mistaken. But those 16 games that he started, no one said shit about his defense. When he was averaging 17 and 5, no one said shit about his defense. When did that start? Oh, when Austin Reeves came back and started looking like a fringe all-star. Now you're bitching about his defense. Now you're saying he's a low IQ player. Now you're saying that those 16 games, right? And by the way, 16 games is not a small sample size. 16 games is a very respectable sample size. I could see if it was 3. I could see if it was 6. 16 is a very respectable sample size. And now you guys have decided that because you want him gone and you want Austin Reeves to stay, or someone told you we want this guy gone and we want this guy to stay, some kind of way. I'm not saying explicitly someone said, hey, you all need to go on the podcast and you need to push this line. I'm not saying that happened. Okay? I'm saying that one way or another, the narrative formed that Dalton Knect's defense is shit. and he is a low IQ player, and that what happened early on in the year was a fluke. 16 games, they're saying it was a fluke. Oh, by the way, everyone gets up to play the Lakers. The Lakers get everyone's best shot. And you're saying 16 games. You know what another narrative I heard? Oh, well, he was good when teams weren't game planning for him. But now that teams are game planning for him, he's no good anymore. That's another one I heard, right? Yo, you guys got Austin Reeves, who didn't show up in these playoffs. He did not show up. Dalton Knect, from what I saw when he was at Tennessee, is a primetime player. Am I saying Austin Reeves won't grow into that? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I saw from Dalton Knect is a primetime player. So, I'm just asking everyone to just think a little bit past the surface, man. When you start talking about trades and stuff like that, just remember, you're getting ready to trade a guy who, not when he started, right? Because you could start and play 7 minutes a game. We've seen that from a guy like Jackson Hayes. Not that he started, but when he was given the opportunity, he averaged 17, 5, 55% from the field, 48% from 3, 85% from the line. That's what you're trading, right? So all this talk about him being a throw-in and whatnot, you're getting ready to do and make the same mistake that they keep making over and over and over again. They undervalue their assets. They bring in assets that are overvalued. And then in order to make up what they lost, they send out too much. Right? It's like they keep throwing good money after bad money. That's been the pattern. We effed up this trade. How could we make it up? Well, if we throw in another first round pick, we could get rid of this player that's not working for us and bring in somebody else. And then, Laker Nation stupidly has been giving them praise for doing that. But you don't realize in the macro, in the big picture, you have less than what you started with. Right? If you start at a 10, you make a trade that brings you down to a 7. We go down to a 6 or a 5 to remedy that trade. That's been the pattern. It's also been a pattern that we give up on young players. And then we later look back and we kick ourselves in the ass for it. Right? Dalton Knect. Alex Caruso. Julius Randle. Ivica Zubac. Right? I'm telling you, with Dalton Knect, at some point in time, if you trade this guy, you better get it right. Because at some point in time next season, somebody's going to say, hey, when this guy was given the opportunity, he was 17 points, 5 rebounds per game, 55% from the field, 48% from 3, 86% from the line, when given the opportunity last year. So you know what some teams are going to do? They're going to trade for him, right? And they're going to trade for him and get him almost as a throw-in. Because all you idiots, I don't mean you, my audience, I mean the talking heads. Many of the talking heads are treating Dalton Knect like a throw-in. And let me tell you something else too. I repeat this. If you give up Dalton Knect for Nic Claxton or Daniel Gafford, you are stupid. I'm talking to Rob Pelinka. You are a dumbass, man. You have a sample size that says Dalton Knect next year, if he gets the opportunity, given what we already saw this year, he may very well be a 20, 22 point per game scorer. That's what your numbers say. When you gave him 16 games starting, right? He produced 17 points per game as a starter in his rookie year. Is it obscene to think that he averages 21 points per game next year? I'm asking you, literally. Tell me in the comments. Is it obscene to think Dalton Knect averages 21 points per game next year? If he goes to another situation and gets an opportunity. And then let's follow that up, right? If he averages 21 points per game next year, let's say 6 rebounds, right? Do you think that's worth the 10.7 rebounds per game that you might get from Nic Claxton, or the 12 and 8 that Daniel Gafford averaged last year? Do you think that's a fair trade? Serious question. Please answer in the comments, because I guarantee you that the answer is no. And if you say yes, you have to mind fuck yourself in order to do so. Yo, man, the Lakers need to get this right. They got a guy. 17 points, 5 rebounds per game, over 16 games as a starter. They got a guy, right? Cost control contract for another 5 years. Wake the F up. Don't go blowing this. Don't go blowing this, man. Stop just throwing his name into shit, man. Stop throwing his name into shit, because you're getting ready to get took again. You're getting ready to get took. Dalton Knect is about to be the 4th name that you could add to Alex Caruso, Julius Randle, and Ivica Zubac. You're getting ready to put Dalton Knect on that list too. And if you do it for a player that is 10 and 7 or 12 and 8, because they could catch lobs and play a little defense, you're out your freaking mind, man. Yo, get your head right. Anyway, this is Pure Uncut Lakers. Please like and subscribe. I'll hit you up later.